Hi, this is Lisa. I am the founder of The Conscious Runner and The Conscious Runner podcast. And I've been using a certain email provider for a number of years, and it worked fine. I was able to create lists, design forms, and send messages. But about a week ago, I wanted to incorporate more marketing into my business, and I needed more automation in order to do that. And this particular email provider did not provide the automation that I needed. In fact, I would have needed to have purchased a separate tool in order to do that, and I did not want an additional cost. So I began my search for another email provider. And I came across ConvertKit, and I really liked it. So I decided to post about it to a forum I belong to, and it came back with extremely positive reviews, so I implemented it. Setting up ConvertKit was fairly simple. Setting up the tags, setting up the sequences, setting up the segments, setting up the forms, all of that was fairly simple. Where I really struggled was piecing it all together. It was absolutely confusing to me. I could not figure out if I should or shouldn't tag a user, should or shouldn't put a user in a segment. Do I tie the user to the form or not the form? All of this did not make sense to me because it was a way of thinking about email that I had not thought about email before. And I spent hours trying to figure this out. I would draw it out on a piece of paper. I would go back to the computer. I would sit down. I would get into the program. I would try to implement it, and then I would start thinking about it again, and it didn't make sense. So I would go back and draw it out again on the paper, and I would go back to the computer. I would try to implement it again, and it still didn't make sense. And I just kept on doing this cycle, and I felt like I was just going in circles, and it was extremely frustrating, for me. I can't even describe the level of frustration because I had spent so much time working on my business, working on my products, making sure that they were high quality. And I was really excited about being to this point that I would be able to market them in a very effective way that would provide the most value for my subscribers and also the most value for myself. And I felt like I was just unable to because I was just limited by, I should say, my knowledge of being able to set up the flow in this program and then work with the program in order to create what I wanted. So it was almost twofold there. So hours were going by with me going back and forth between the paper and the computer trying to figure this out. And then the hours turned into days. And it was just time that I could have spent marketing, time that I could have spent delivering value, time that I could have spent with my family, time that I could have spent with other things in my life that I enjoyed. So I was just really kind of resenting all of the time that I was spending trying to figure out this email program. And it's almost a week later, and I felt like I could not move my business forward because I'm here stuck in this email program. So I was literally at my wit's end when I decided to post to the ConvertKit Facebook group that I needed some help. And I believe that my exact message was something like, would anyone be willing to spend 30 minutes with me to help me sort out ConvertKit? And immediately Welmoed replied. And I replied back to her, letting her know that I would private message her, and I did. And then within 2 hours, we were able to coordinate a time. And even just knowing that I was going to have someone look at this that knew more than I did was such a relief. It was like I could see kind of the end of my frustration right there as soon as she replied back. And honestly, when I first posted that message, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I'm doing this. Is anyone going to even reply back to this? But I had to because it was the only way that I was going to be able to move forward because I just could not sort through it myself. And I needed the help of someone who really knew what they were doing and could kind of take me out of my head and help me problem solve how to set up what my workflow needed to be like so that I could contribute the most value to my subscribers and also get the most value in return. And she responded to that. So when we got on the call, immediately we connected. There was synergy, there was chemistry. She was very patient, understood what it is that I wanted immediately, which was somewhat amazing to me because I know that I could not have conveyed that very clearly, or I felt like I didn't convey it very clearly because I was so confused. So her ability to really grasp what I was saying when I didn't really even know what I was saying, was really amazing to me. So she was able to not only figure out what it is, that I wanted to do, but knew the program enough to figure out how we needed to get it done in the program. And it was just such an amazing experience working with her and being able to problem solve this and get the result, that I had wanted for the past week, within a couple of hours of going back and forth and really determining what it is that I wanted and then how we could best set it up in the program. So I, would definitely recommend getting any help from her as far as ConvertKit goes or any of the other services that she offers. Just absolutely brilliant, a pleasure to work with, and was well, if I can say enough positive words, beyond anything that I had expected to receive from someone else.